Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
Welcome everyone here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, where we are covering over 5 million households here in the greater Los Angeles. And I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Wade. And today we have an amazing guest, and I am so happy to have him as my guest. But let me introduce you who it is. He is an amazing actor, movie actor in the Hollywood industry, and he is also an inspirational speaker. And I am so excited that he's here today. Let me introduce you to Glenn Morshower. Glenn, welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle. How are you doing?
Oh, honey, I'm well. Wellness is key. I value wellness over all other things. So it starts first thing in the morning is just checking in and remembering that how we feel determines how well things go. That's the lens through which we experience all things. So I just don't have complaints in my life, and I'm grateful, and I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Well, I am so blessed, and I've mentioned that to you many times that I feel so blessed having you as my connections now, because again, you have given me so many opportunities to help other people. And I know that you are so successful and you've done so many movies. And it is, I'm still amazed that you are working with me on my events. But, let us share some of the great stories you have as a successful actor. Can you share us, or to our listeners, what is the experience for you being an actor for many, many years and still filming at this time?
Well, I got into it when I was a kid, and I got into it for different reasons than why I'm currently into it. Some of the reasons are still the same, but I got into it because it looked like fun, and no other reason. When I was a kid, because I recognized somebody that was up on the stage of a play that I was seeing in Dallas. And after all of our years, 36 years on the West Coast, we circled back and returned to Dallas. So I'm in Dallas today, here in our home. But I grew up in this city, and my mom, when I was 11 years old and my brother was 13, took us to see a play at the Dallas Theater Center. And there was a girl on stage that I was in school with, and I didn't know that before the curtain went up. I had no idea that she was in the play and had not read the program yet. And all of a sudden, my friend Debbie walks out onto the stage, and I thought, oh my gosh. And she looked like she was living in a fantasy world where everybody was having a good time. And that truly, as I watched these actors playing, the theater is sizable. It's called the Dallas Theater Center. There were 435 seats. I still remember the number. And everyone seemed to be having such a good time on stage, and that was translating into a really good time for the audience. And I thought, wow, the audience is responding to what's going on up there. I mean, these were my thoughts as a little boy. And so at the intermission, I asked my mom what the path would be. I don't know if I used the word path, but I would just said, how would I go about getting involved? Like Debbie, my friend, I know her from school. And she said, well, they probably have a kid or teen theater department, and I will look into it. And thankfully she did, because she enrolled me immediately. She supported me wholeheartedly, instead of saying, Glenn, that's not a good career. That's not a thing to study. I mean, she didn't minimize my excitement. Instead, she supported it. And I got there, and Marie, what was so beautiful, I'm giving you a very thorough answer, but what was so beautiful was it was my deepest and richest experience of acceptance, meaning that all of the kids accepted and loved each other that were in the theater classes. It didn't matter if you were older, younger. It didn't matter what your skin color was. It didn't matter what your sexual preference was. It didn't matter what your belief systems were, your religion. I mean, nothing mattered except love. And that changed my life. So I've been involved with it now for 54 years. The first 4 were in theater where there was no money to be made. And then when I was 15, I got my first national television commercial and started doing it for a living and never looked back.
Wow. And you have done over 270 plus movies and
Yes.
TV series. I mean, I have so many questions for you. I mean, what is your favorite all in terms of all of these movies that you have done?
Well, for starters, I won't give you an equally long answer to each one of these questions.
Yes.
My favorite movie that I've done out of 277 and counting, just finished 278
Oh my
a couple of
gosh.
weeks ago. And without a doubt was a film I did that was directed by Ridley Scott called Black Hawk Down. And
Okay.
my favorite television show, without a doubt, still to this day, is the Fox television series 24, because it was such a global hit. And I played a really likable, even lovable man of integrity and loyalty named Aaron Pierce. And I couldn't have asked the writers to write a more beautiful character for me to play.
Mhm.
And people loved him all over the world. So, it's one thing if you're known in your hometown, it's another thing if you're known in your state or your country. But when you get on a plane and fly to the other side of the world to a place you've never been, and you land and people want to come up and shake your hand or hug you, it's a beautiful thing. And that was all courtesy of the series 24.
Wow. And I've seen you've worked with so many actors, so many amazing people in the entertainment industry. Who would you say the best people that you have worked with?
Marie Waite.
Well, aside from me.
Is that the end of the interview?
Oh my God, thank you. I love it. But
No,
yeah.
I adore that we're a team. You
Yes.
said you still can't believe it. I can. And the reason I believe it is because I think we're a really good, energetic pair. Both of us laugh a lot. Both of us have a good time. Both of us believe in people. Both of us are very truthful people, which I adore that about you. I don't ever think of you as someone that plays games with people or controls or manipulates or does anything like that. Your mama raised you well.
Thank you.
So that's why we're teaming up. Favorite person I've ever worked with in the industry. Oh, gosh. I had the privilege of working ever so briefly with Meryl Streep in the movie The River Wild. But in terms of my favorite person that I really got to know, and they made themselves available, and they were as pure of intention as I am, and I really loved being with them every day, is the star of the series The Resident, Matt Zuckery, who
Okay.
I played his father on the show. And Matt was just wonderful. And then I had the pleasure of working with my childhood hero, which was Jack Lemmon. So I'm going back way, 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 way back. And so those two guys were my two favorites. And Meryl would have to have been my favorite female actress to work with.
And how were you able to stay current in the industry? Because I know it's always changing.
Yeah.
You have done so many movies and projects that for someone in this industry, I know that most of them probably couldn't stay long because they just couldn't stay current. So how are you able to keep that going for you, Glenn?
Well, again, I attribute it to a combination of doing what we do well and having a strong reputation of integrity, where people have worked with you and they believe in you. So now you're building a reputation, not only one of talent, but one of decency. And frankly, being an enjoyable presence to work around. People really care. We put in very long hours. An average day on set is going to be at least 12 hours, often 14 hours. We are not known for the industry which leaves you well rested. Nobody goes into show business to catch up on sleep. That doesn't work. So that's how. But another thing you've got to remember is that when you're really young, which I was. My first film, I was 16. My first commercial, I was 15. So we're talking about 51 years ago. That first job, I couldn't play an older man, of course, because I'm a kid. And now that I'm an older man, I can't play what I could then. So I don't think, I think the industry, like if you're a professional athlete and you're playing football, you're probably retired before your 40th birthday. A lot of times, about the time you're 36, you're forced into retirement because of the condition of the human body. And in my business, you can do it until you're gone. You can be an actor your whole life. Nobody says, well, you're 60 now, you have to retire. All it means is that you're playing the roles in your 60s that you couldn't play in your 40s. And so thankfully, you don't ever age out. Now, there are fewer jobs written. There are fewer roles written for people that are older, but those roles are still in existence. And thank God for it. Thank God they have granddad roles. Thanks God they have all kinds of different roles. So you can do it your whole life if you love it. And if you're kind, if you're friendly, people like having you around.
Wow, that's a good insight for a lot of people that are listening right now. So Glenn, we're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. And for everyone out there, don't go away. We have Glenn Morshower, our amazing movie actor, Hollywood legend, and also an inspiring speaker. And we will be right back.
I'm Glenn Morshower. My face may look familiar to you from lots and lots of TV and film over the last 50 years. We're doing speaker training together and we're excited about helping you. We've got a lot of fundamentals that we will cover, including the art of playfulness, knowing who you are, remembering tonality, posture, all of these things that are life-changing. They are significant not only in your professional world, but in your personal life as well. We look forward to working with you in the near future.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316, 951-378-5316.
Welcome back, everyone, here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. And we were talking to our amazing Hollywood legend, Glenn Morshower. And Glenn, let's continue our conversation in regards to your years and years of experience in the acting industry. And you mentioned a couple of amazing people that you work with. And now, you are still filming, and you are also an inspiring speaker. So how did that come about with you, doing all these films and also speaking at the same time?
This is why I enjoy interviews like this, Marie, because I wouldn't have wanted to know that you were going to ask that question. It's a great question, but I wouldn't have wanted a scripted response. You know what I mean? Sit down and think about it and come up with this and that and cut and paste and remove this. No, it's a very, very easy answer. If it weren't for acting, I would never have become a speaker. And I'll tell you why. It isn't just because I trained to be in front of people. That's what made me a better speaker, but it's not what motivated me to get into speaking. What motivated me to get into speaking, and very few people know this, is that I had always, in all of my younger years as an actor, I had always been very strong at booking work. I had always had an elevated percentage for number of auditions gone out on per, and number of jobs booked from those auditions. And one day my agent in Hollywood called me in and said, "What are you doing out there? Because it's working like crazy. It's working." And I said, "Well, it's interesting. You should ask." And I explained to them that I have a very different approach to auditioning. And he said, "Is it something you could teach?" And this is how it all began. I was 25 years old at the time. So we're talking again, 41 years ago. And he said to me, "If you could teach this, we will make sure that your sessions are filled with actors," because they represented, I think, about 625 actors.
Mhm.
So we can help you keep it on a steady rotation where we have a new crop of actors in, we will send them over to train with you. And what I was teaching was how to master the art of auditioning, not how to act, how to audition, specifically how to connect with people. And so I started doing this, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And I'm working live. I mean, this was long before the internet was even invented. And so many people would attend. He told me, he said, my agent said, "Why don't you go on the road with this?" And I went on the road and I was speaking all over the country. And one of the sessions was in Houston, Texas. And at the end of the session, I remember the theater space. It was 250 people in the most beautiful theater I had ever spoken at. The theater was at St. Thomas University in Houston. And this good old boy walks over to me. He sounded just like this. I'm from Texas, so this is
Yeah.
what so many people say. He comes over and he says, "Glenn, my granddaughter told me if you were ever anywhere near Houston, that I ought to come hear you speak." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes. And I'm not an actor. So when I'm driving over here tonight, I didn't know why she thought I should listen to you. No offense." And I said, "No offense taken." And he said, "But son, you weren't on," and he was about my age now, right?
Mhm.
I would have been in my late, what was I, I would have been early 40s. And I had been teaching this program for many, many years, but it was only for actors. And then he said, "You weren't even talking about acting on that stage tonight. You were talking about love. You were talking about blessings. You were talking about God. You were talking about empowerment, loyalty, integrity, decency. And you spoke more on the subject of fun than any person I have ever listened to. Anybody. You talked about the importance of having fun in your life." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "And I was wondering if you might want to come speak to my folks at," and I'll leave the name of the company out of it, but he handed me a business card to ask me if I would come speak to his company. It's a big, well-known national company. And I looked at it and I said, "Well, the answer is yes." I wasn't intimidated by the offer. I thought it was beautiful. I was puzzled by it, but I said, "The answer is yes. Tell me, how would you like me to change the program and modify it for you and for your company?" And he goes, "I don't want you to change anything. I want you to do exactly what you did up on that stage tonight. And if you do that, they're going to scoop you up like good ice cream." That's the way he spoke. And I said, "That's beautiful." Well, that man changed my life. So ever since then, I've been teaching that one day, one night, one moment can change your life if you're available for it, if you're up for the change. And if you are open, receptive, responsive, and obedient, that's the key. Open, receptive, responsive, and obedient. If you are available, then people show up magnetically. That's what shows up in your life. And your future is handed to you because of your availability for it. It's not about wishing, wanting, or hoping. It's about being ready to receive it. And thank you, God, for that man, because he put me up in front of very large audiences, none of whom were actors. And I loved it because I was able to use all of my acting skills in this presentation. And it is officially my favorite thing to do, far more so than making films, far more so than doing television series, even though I still do both and I love it. There's nothing I love more than the fulfillment of making a difference in someone's life as a speaker.
Wow. Well, Glenn, I saw you over 10 years ago in front of thousands of people, and I heard you speak. And there were other actors in there. One guy was Ernie Hudson,
Ernie
and there's the
Hudson,
guy
yes,
from the movie Rudy, right? And
yes.
you were the one that I was so attentive to, because your words and your delivery is just so powerful that you really caught me 100%. And since then, I couldn't really, stop thinking about, who you are. And after 10 years, and I had this individual who's, needing some help from me. And the only thing I can think of was you, because you're the
Mm.
only one I can, think of, being the best speaker. And I know that you're training speakers now and actors. So how many people have you touched in terms of your training? And
I've lost count. Honestly, I have no idea what it is, but I'm so glad we're doing this right now, because in an interview, and especially an interview with a friend, an interview with a trusted friend, is you will go through things as you're sharing your story. And it occurs to me, I have never said ever what I'm about to say. I've never said it. And I've done certainly well over 1,000 interviews. That's not an exaggeration. We used to do them constantly, especially for 24 during what they call the, what do they used to call them? I know it's the press junket things that occur during sweeps, right? And May was the big month where we would do about 2 weeks of interviews, and we would hop like from interview to interview, and they literally they were about 15 to 20 feet apart.
okay.
All the way around, and all day long you would do Honolulu, and then Miami, and then Chicago, and then Wisconsin, somewhere in Wisconsin, whatever. So here's what I just have this thought of, is in terms of a speaker, there are 3 kinds of speakers. This will never be taught anywhere else. This is just coming from my soul. The first type of speaker is the memorized speaker. I think those are the least effective. That is the person who has memorized everything they were going to say, which is exactly what this interview is not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So memorize everything they're going to say. And I mean every word, every pause, every intonation. It's all a program that is memorized. And or it depends on PowerPoint, right? So, well, what happens if your PowerPoint tanks? What happens if the PowerPoint fails and you're so memorized in connection with it that now you've got a problem? That's speaker type number 1. Speaker type number 2 is the person who is there to talk about what they want to talk about. And that is the most common type. It has nothing to do with the audience. It's, this is my program, and by God, this is what I'm going to talk about. And then there's the third type. You want to guess what the third type is?
Someone that served?
Yes. Specifically, the third type, instead of saying, here's what I'm going to talk about, the third type looks and goes, what does the room need right now?
Yes.
What does the room need? Not what do I want to do? Not what have I memorized? What does the room need? What does it need to hear? What does it need to learn today? What will make this a better world beginning right here, right now? And then be open to be the vessel through which the messages travel. That to me, there is not a higher level of speaking. And I'm telling you, that is a dizzying concept to most people who would actually be afraid of it, because like, oh my God, but I would feel so naked up there without all of the words memorized and everything, which is the absence of trust. But if you're in trust and you're talking, then it's okay if you hit a point where you just pause and just look and make connection. And there you are over there. And now as I lock eyes with that woman over there in the 4th row, a thought occurs and I can be present in that thought, finish it, and then return.
Wow.
It is what I seek to teach as we work together, to teach at that level of trust, which is so extraordinary that you eliminate all competition because nobody is doing what you're doing. That's the beauty of it. And I will tell you, from an audience perspective, boy, oh boy, can they ever feel the difference. It's so different. between someone who's all neatly memorized with everything they're going to say, and then all of a sudden here comes this woman or this man that just is in trust and in flow with ease. And the audience goes, oh my God, this is like taking a spiritual bath. So
Yeah, that is such awakening information.
I've never said
Glenn.
that in an interview, my dear.
I am
I've never
so
said
grateful. But let me take a commercial break here, and I can
We'll be
wait
right
to-
back after these words with the
Yeah.
lovely Marie Waite.
Welcome to Fire Up Live 2025, an immersive speaker transformation experience designed to accelerate your visibility, refine your message, and unlock real opportunities in the speaking industry. Join us September 25th through 28th across Southern California, from the center in Escondido to Old Town Theater in Temecula, and ending at the Air and Space Museum in San Diego, for 4 unforgettable days of high-impact training, masterminds, and live experiences. Led by some of the most dynamic voices in the industry, Fire Up Live is where your speaker journey transforms. September 25th, VIP Speaker Training Program. Kick off day 1 with world-renowned actor and transformational speaker Glenn Morshower. He'll train you in performance mastery, from vocal control to emotional connection, so you can own any stage with unforgettable presence. Marie Waite brings expert insights from her book, Who Do You Think You Are?, helping you build an authentic personal brand that opens doors in the speaking world. Learn how to monetize your message in just 30 days, without spending a dime on ads or emails with strategist Manny Lopez. TEDx curator and speaker coach Jim McLaughlin will guide you through message shaping and stage confidence. Network with industry leaders and vendors over a curated VIP lunch. Vendors also gain access to this high-value networking session. September 26th, Building Solid Foundations Mastermind. Day 2 features a dynamic mastermind session led by business strategist Steve Matley. This session helps speakers and entrepreneurs gain clarity, refine their brand positioning, and plan their next strategic move. Enjoy a professional photo shoot aligned with your speaker brand, ideal for elevating your portfolio and marketing. September 27th, TEDx Temecula Experience. On day 3, immerse yourself in the TEDx Temecula experience at the historic Old Town Temecula Theater. Experience the inner workings of TEDx Temecula, an independently organized TED event. Discover how TEDx speakers are selected, coached, and elevated onto the global stage. Watch live, master-level presentations that inspire and transform. September 28th, Fire Up Wings Fashion Show. Wrap up the weekend in style at the Fire Up Wings Fashion Show, held at the iconic San Diego Air and Space Museum. Enjoy live jazz from Valerie Geeson, designs inspired by flight, fashion, and leadership, and James Bond-style runway moments from business leaders and featured designers. Plus, witness the beauty of the Trueness Project's signature butterfly wings come to life on the runway. Reserve your spot now at fireupconnect.com/fire-up-live. Early bird pricing ends July 31st.
In Karate Legacy and the Power Within, we don't just teach karate techniques, we share the inspiring stories of incredible martial artists. Latino Gonzalez, the father of karate, paved the way for martial arts in the Philippines. His legacy lives on through his sons, Rolando and Roberto Gonzalez, who starred in over 100 Philippine karate movies, captivating audiences and bringing karate to the silver screen. Then we have Patricia Gonzalez, a symbol of strength and resilience. After overcoming her own battles, Patricia's journey embodies the spirit of perseverance. Her story encourages us to face our challenges head-on and emerge victorious. Each character in this book has a unique journey, friends and students who have dedicated their lives to mastering the art of karate. Their shared passion not only deepens their bond, but also strengthens their resolve to uplift one another. Through these compelling stories, Karate Legacy and the Power Within reveals the essence of karate: courage, unity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Join us in celebrating these extraordinary individuals and discover the strength that lies within you. Grab your copy of Karate Legacy and the Power Within, available now on Amazon.
Welcome,
Hi, are we
everyone.
back? Okay.
We're back. But this is the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, and I am your host, Marie Waite, and we have Glenn, and this is our third segment with him. I feel like, I'm running out of time already because I always wanted to talk to Glenn, and I learned so much from him. And for you out there, you guys have to be really excited because he's giving so many amazing, knowledge and experience in this show. So, Glenn, I know that you are also speaking at two of my events. And again, I am so grateful for you. The fact that you are coming to San Diego and you're blessing all of these people is just such an incredible, incredible opportunity for all of us here.
The only thing I love more than San Diego is you.
Oh.
So I'm gonna wind up being out there. I'm doing multiple events that all seem to be going on. There's this great big Southern California convergence. And one of them that I'll be doing at that time is a graduation. And so this is not an invitation to anybody because it's not open, but it's a graduation for a college, and I'm their commencement speaker. And
Wow.
This will be commencement number 15 for that college that I've done. It's not 15 in a row because COVID got in the way early. So I think we skipped a full year, but I've done 15 of the last 16 commencement speeches for this college.
I'm
and
sure
it's
they
for
are
an audience of about 8,500 people. So
8,500.
8,500
Oh my God.
people. It's a big deal.
So anyway, I know, Glenn, that you are going to be speaking on August 9th, which is at the San Diego Real Estate Investing and Business Expo. And you're going to be talking about communication, right? And this is a
Yes.
specific industry, which is real estate. What is something that you can share about it that is unique to a lot of people that they have not, experienced at all?
Well, this is kind of a non-linear understanding of treasured real estate, but I've talked to more than one real estate company in all of my years as a speaker, and I talk about the most expensive real estate we have, which is the real estate of our heart. This real estate right here, this small part of the world is your most cherished real estate, and most people don't take care of it very well. And I don't mean just physically taking care of it. I mean spiritually, emotionally, valuing it as this is prime real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having a piece of property on Maui is beautiful, does not begin to compare with this. This is your prime real estate, if everybody can remember that. And one of the exercises that I do, of course, if they see this before that, it won't ruin it, but they'll already know the cat will be out of the bag, so to speak. But I ask everybody in the audience to just stand and close their eyes. And so you've got hundreds of people that are there trusting you, and they're standing, and hopefully they're standing first and then closing their eyes, but they stand up and they close their eyes. And I ask them now, I look around the auditorium, I make sure that all heads have their eyes closed. And then I say, now with your eyes closed, if you would, I want you at this time to simply point to yourself. Where do you think they point? Point to their heart.
Yeah, to their heart.
Every time. Nobody goes like this. Nobody points to their left elbow. Nobody points to their lower back. And nobody just stands there going, I point to myself. I don't know how to do that. You didn't tell me where to point. So this is teaching us something about intrinsic understanding, that when, Jim McLaughlin is calling me, I'll have to be back right in the middle of the interview. Hey, Jim, I'll call you right back when we're done with the interview. Okay. So here you are just with their eyes closed saying, please point to yourself. And they go, and you're looking around and you go, oh my gosh, that's the most powerful and most beautiful thing. It is that. It's both powerful and beautiful that I've got hundreds or even thousands, depending on how large the audience is, of people who have all, without communicating about it with one another, have agreed that this is who you are. This is who I am, right? Yes. I'm not my brain. I'm not my chiseled chin. I'm not my bald head. Those are all parts of my body. But my essence, and what do I want to be known as? Do I want to be known as egocentric? No, I want to be known as heart-centric. So I will be talking about that version of real estate. And I promise you, that is not something any of the people at that meeting will have ever heard at a real estate conference.
Yes.
And here's the connection though. The connection is that when you take care of this perfectly, you become unstoppable. There's nothing you can't do. It doesn't matter. You want to sell real estate? Sell real estate. You'll be the best there is. You want to be an actor? Be an actor. You'll be the best there is. You want to be a politician, a race car driver, a physician, a dentist, whatever you want to do, a garbage collector, you'll be the best one there is, because your choices are emanating from the desires of your heart.
I'm even like, I can't wait to be at that event and listen to you, Glenn. And you're also coming back on September 25th. And this is more catered to the speakers. And I know that you have already students that are going to be trained by you, and they're going to be able to show their speaking in the afternoon, and you're going to somehow get them transformed to the way they can be at their best, right?
Yes.
So with these two events, and you have this amazing time to share your knowledge, I mean, do you have anything else that you wanted to let our audience know that, these are events that they can't miss?
Yeah, well, most assuredly. And what I can guarantee collectively, along with Steve, that we have a team of people that are going to insist and will provide a really safe place of discovery for you, that you can come and be in a learning environment that is non-competitive. At least for that time, it's non-competitive, where we're wide open and everybody in the room is rooting for everybody else to discover and be and shine and evolve. And that's a beautiful thing. And then the key, I think, is not just to attend. That's the beginning. The key is to be open enough to absorb. I talked about receptivity earlier. But beyond that is to then take the call to action, is that you will take what you have learned that during that session and implement it into your life first and into the world, instead of just, man, what a great couple of days that was. That was fabulous. And then you drop it and forget about it. That's not going to do you any good. That'll leave you feeling good at the meeting, but then it's really ultimately what you do with it after it. But I will guarantee you that there are blessings that are coming your way that are truly unable to be quantified, because we're not in the session yet. And when we get in the session, that's when we discover people. That's when we meet people. That's when synergy kicks in as we co-create the experience. And none of those things can be planned. They have to be discovered. The event can be planned, but what's going to happen will be based on the attendees. So we hope you're there, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, and I believe that even that's not the only time that they can participate and learn from you. There's going to be an ongoing online sessions that you can continue to help people.
Yeah, and online, I'm very adept in the online world, because when COVID showed up, at that time I owned 3 studios in 3 different states to teach actors. And COVID said, well, that chapter is over with, at least for now. And it put us into an online modality via Zoom. And I got used to having no geographic restrictions and having a sense of community that was every bit as much the same sense of a group and of being in a room, just as if we physically were actually in the same room. So this is the world I'm accustomed to. And it was so effective in teaching people this way that we never returned to the in-person. So my return to the in-person coaching version of life is with Marie. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Otherwise, I was just going to continue to go online, and whenever a company wants me to come out and speak for them, we could do that. But to actively train speakers to do it both in person and online, what a blessing. What a beautiful thing.
Well, Glenn, I have asked you this question before, because you have this incredible years life that is so inspiring and successful. And I ask you if this is something that you want to share to people through a documentary or You know, is that something that you see yourself doing and sharing
You
it to
remember what
everybody?
I said? I said, yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course. And it's something, I'm getting ready. I shot 2 documentaries in Los Angeles 2 months ago,
Mhm.
but they were not that. They were different types of documentaries. But one of them, I want to give the guy a little press. One of them was a movie, and the movie is this. It's called That Guy Who Was in That Thing. You can see it. And
Okay.
what that reference is a character actor like me whose face and you know it, and you see him at the mall or wherever out in a restaurant, but you're going, that guy, I don't know his name. Oh, but it's that guy from 24, it's that guy from Transformers. So he wound up doing a thing called That Guy from That Thing. Well, this is not the one. This was his first one. His name is Ian Romaine, and Ian did this film in 2012, this one that's on DVD, right? Sort of puts a little time capsule around it.
Yes.
But because we just finished this movie, he wanted me to see it and kind of get a sense of what it's going to look like when it's all pieced together. So now this is the sequel to that, 13 years later. And I am one of the 8 character actors who they go to for advice, for stories, for information regarding what does it mean to live the life of a character actor. And it's phenomenal. It is so well done. The other one was a piece on Katrina, the 20th anniversary upcoming for PBS, and I'm the host of it. So that's wonderful. But I would really enjoy most being able to tell the story of my journey. They start asking you to do that when you get a little bit older. Nobody wants to hear about your life story when you're 28. But when you get up into your 60s and 70s, then people say, you've made a difference in the world, and I'd love to know a little more about the whole story. And so, yes, I look forward to doing that.
Oh
And
my God,
it
I am
is
excited.
something we will do.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so we're going to take a commercial break again, and this will be our last segment with Glenn. So don't go away. We will
With
be
character actor Glenn Morshower. We'll be right back.
I'm Glenn Morshower. My face may look familiar to you from lots and lots of TV and film over the last 50 years. We're doing speaker training together, and we're excited about helping you. We've got a lot of fundamentals that we will cover, including the art of playfulness, knowing who you are, remembering tonality, posture, all of these things that are life-changing. They are significant not only in your professional world, but in your personal life as well. We look forward to working with you in the near future.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316.
All right, well, back here in the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show with Glenn Morshower. And Glenn, what a remarkable life you have, and it is a legacy.
What a remarkable life you have. Look at your background. If I were really somebody special, I would grow up to have a background like that instead of just a little dull blue background. Yours is so vibrant and alive.
I love, being vibrant, and it's just, and I understand what you're talking about when it comes to love. And, I left the corporate world, and I really just wanted to do what I love doing. And it's about, being creative and about meeting amazing people like you. I mean, if I have never taken that step, I would have never been in this position, and I would have never met you, Glenn. And so,
But you
by
did, and we did.
yes, yes. And just by being connected to you, I want people to know that you have made such a big difference in my life. And I am so grateful and thankful to God for that. And I don't want to be I'm very emotional here, but it is true. You have such a generous heart, and you have really blessed so many people in life. And
Hey, can we actually talk about God? I know most people don't talk about God in interviews, but I do so many talks in churches and that kind of thing because I think there's some belief systems that are in need of an update. And I'd love to, there's a talk that I do in churches called Believing in a Bigger God. And it's very interesting. And I just want to show you an example of some of our messages, some of our sayings, we'll call them that, sayings that people repeat by rote. And I'm not being critical. Please, no, I understand that. And whatever serves you, do it. If it serves you, if it serves the world, if it makes you a better version of you, then do it. Do it. That's my advice. But I want to give you an example. Are you familiar with the Serenity Prayer? And you've heard it. You just may not know it by name.
Yes.
The Serenity Prayer is the prayer that says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. And it's been said for it's been said for a very long time. And it is so good and it's so beautiful that they started using it in 12-step meetings many years ago. And there was something about it that as I heard it more and more, and when I would go to meetings weekly, and I was attending those meetings on behalf of my brother who was dying of alcoholism, and I was trying to learn about it as an observer for meetings that they referred to as open meetings. They were open, meaning anybody was welcome. And so I would listen to this prayer, and certainly I didn't just go to 12-step meetings to hear it. I would hear this prayer said in churches. I would hear it around time and time. And I was never a fan of repeating the opening line more than once. And I know you didn't expect this, and I didn't know I would be bringing it up today, but I want people to listen and consider. But the only way this will make a difference, the only way it will change your life, is if you get rid of, and I'm going to tell you, Marie and I are going to team up to help you in areas to get rid of, or at least shrink, a condition that you may have, which is very common in the world. And the condition is called the already made up mind, meaning that you've decided it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And I will tell you, there are very few things that are just the way they are. Gravity would be one of them. You get me? Gravity, like gravity is non-negotiable. There's nothing to discuss. Gravity exists. So I'll bring this to a point because I know our last segment is short. So I started thinking about the first three words, God grant me. God grant me. And then I heard, really, I don't mean audibly, but in my mind, I heard the voice of God saying, I already did. God grant me. I already did. God grant me. I already did. God grant me. I already did. Why are you saying grant me? I already did. And didn't you ask me last week to grant you the serenity? Did you think I was listening? Did you think I was listening? I was, and I granted you serenity, but just so you know, I granted you serenity a long time ago on the day of your arrival on the earth. You arrived with the gift of serenity. Now, you may not be behaving in a serene manner, but it's not because you don't have serenity. It's that you're not interacting with the serenity that you do have. Now, that's strong thinking. That's really, really strong. So if you think about it, if I keep saying, listen to this, Marie, if every time you and I got together, I said, Marie, please grant me your friendship. Wouldn't that seem ridiculous?
Yes.
Wouldn't you, after a while, go, Glenn, what is wrong with you? Why are you continuing to ask me for your friendship? We have a friendship. So anytime we say, God grant me, if we're repeating the same thing over and over and over again, then that means we are coming from lack and we don't believe that our prayers are being heard. Or we believe that God is hard of hearing, which I can't much understand why you would believe in a God that can't hear your prayer. So it's a really powerful thing to consider. And instead of saying, so what is the end of the story? The end of the story is this. Instead of saying, God grant me, try this. God, thank you.
Yes.
God, thank you. Instead of grant me. And you can even put an S on it and say, God grants me. Do you hear the difference? Because that's in present tense. God grants me. Anyway, some thoughts about that, about the power of the spoken word and how you can modify the words you use to empower the life you experience.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Glenn. Any
And
last
we can
words?
do another segment for an end if we need to, but that's
Yeah,
a
I would
strong
love
one.
to bring you back in again to this radio show because I know people would, be so happy to hear from you again. And, you have given us so many things to think about and to improve our life. And you're coming here in San Diego. So for everyone that's
I'm going to
out
have
there-
to buy a house in San Diego because of you.
for
Every
you to
time I
be-
turn around, are you coming to San Diego? I guess I'm going to buy a home out there.
And I know that you have a close family in LA too. So
Yeah, both our son and daughter live in Los Angeles.
okay. And I think it's really convenient. I mean, again, San Diego is the finest city and we would love to have you here.
I love San Diego, truly do.
Okay. But anyway, okay. So remember, Glenn is going to be here on August 9th at the San Diego Real Estate Investing and Business Expo. Make sure that you check that out. And also on September 25th, he'll be here. And I know we have some other news, but I can't really say that right now. We will surprise you on our next interview, right, Glenn?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Any last word, Glenn, for our listeners?
I'm grateful that the heavens brought us together as friends, as brother and sister, as business partners, and that we're here in the world to make magic together. And you bless my life. Thank you, love.
Thank you, Glenn. All right, everybody. This is the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, and make sure that you tune in every Sunday. And thank you, Glenn, for being here. All right.
You're welcome.
Bye,
welcome.
everyone.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.